So today we will see correlation, how we are handling in LoadRunner, and what is the correlation function, and how we are going to see that initial. It's a kind of introduction to the script, I can say. As in the last two sessions, I have just introduced you the LoadRunner tool, how the tool is working, like what is the LoadRunner architecture, and what is the what is the load runner architecture, and what is the VuGen component purpose, and what is the controller component purpose, what is the analysis tool that is going to do. All the things we have seen in our last sessions. So just that is an overview only. In depth we need to yet to discuss. So today we will start the scripting point of view. As you know already, the script, how that is looking like, and how we are going to see, how we are going to do the execution controller, and how we are going to see the results. So I am going to take one basic script today, which is having correlation values. That correlation value we are going to do the correlation by using LoadRunner tool itself. So before that, I will just walk you through for a few minutes, like what is correlation. We already have this idea, just we are referring for one or two times. So correlation, as you know, it's a concept of handling dynamic values. So here we are going to see dynamic values in our script, that is the regular common scripting standard. These values need to be handled to use every time and many number of times in the script. At any point of time, this value should be a fresh value, or this value should be unused value, or this value should be new value. Then only your script is going to pass, then only our job is going to be done. Otherwise the script is going to throw some errors with by telling that this is invalid session, this is, you are using already expired token, your session is invalid, your user request is failed. That type of issues we are getting. So you know already this correlation, we have discussed it previously in JMeter sections. So I'm just revealing for one more time. We need to handle the dynamic values. Further, we need to do the correlation in the JMeter. If you see, we are taking some element which is nothing but some boundary extractor or some regular expression extractor. Here in the LoadRunner, we will discuss about this expression extractor here itself. So in the boundary extractor, what I am going to do, whenever I am hitting one request, that request is producing me some response. In this response, there will be my dynamic value will be there. So this dynamic value I need to identify, and after that we need to pass this request for example, in the request to what I am making, whatever I am getting, that dynamic value I am passing as a request to. In this request to I am passing, that's why I am triggering, and I will get the valid response. If I am not getting, if I am not using the dynamic value, proper dynamic value, that means if I am using whatever I have used at the recording time, that is not going to pass the next request. So if you see, if we are having multiple requests, for example, one request is producing one dynamic value, this dynamic value need to be presented in the next request. So if you are missing this dynamic value in your request, your script is failed. There is no use of doing your script. That script won't pass for multiple users. So here what you need to do is, you need to capture this dynamic value every time. You need to pass this value as a fresh token, fresh value in this particular request. So here in the LoadRunner, we do have one specific function, that is web rec save param ex function. Let me give you the overview of this function. Before that, in the yesterday we have seen some functions. You have given some introduction. You know all these. Just these two basic functions: LR start transaction and LR end transaction. So what these two are doing, like you are going to see the you are going to start one transaction, you are going to end the transaction. This is the LR function. That means this is going to work throughout LoadRunner. But this is web function which is starting with web. This is not LoadRunner function. This is a web function. It will work only for web HTTP HTML protocol and web services protocol only. This function won't work for other protocols. Other protocols means, I have given the introduction. SAP is one protocol, Citrix is one protocol. So true client is another protocol. For that, you need to use different functions. So remember, there are multiple functions are there in the load runner. We will use them whenever we require. We will use them after you are familiar with the script. I will give at the end of our sessions. I will give all the functions what are there in load runner. Frequently used functions are there that we will have on class. So remember, as of now, this is the function where we are going to do the correlation. This function where you have to write means before the request you need to write. I will walk you through what is this before request where this is going to happen. So whenever you are writing this function, we need to follow the syntax, proper syntax. So what syntax we need to follow means there is the standard definition of break save param function. So here you need to mention the first argument is param name equal to. After that, you need to mention the whatever the left boundary is there that you need to write, and you need to write whatever the right boundary is there that also you need to write, followed by last. This is the proper syntax of using web break save param ex function. Now let me tell you what is this function first. This is a web function. This is a registered function. This is the saving parameter. Like we are giving the instruction save param. Param means parameter. So I am saving this parameter. This is an x. I will tell you. I will show you this x. What is the purpose? So earlier the function was like this, just web break save param only, but that was deprecated in the latest versions. We have to use this ex web break save param ex function. So here you need to define the three mandatory arguments. These three are called mandatory arguments. This is argument number 1, this is argument number 2, and this is argument number 3. So these three are mandatory arguments, which is parameter name equal to, you have to mention. If you want to do correlation, you will capture the value, you will assign the value to something. So that assigning itself is your correlation variable. For example, what you have done, we have taken user session. This is my parameter name. And left boundary. Left boundary, how to write the left boundary, we will see in the response. I will copy paste whatever left is there, that is left boundary. Whatever appearing right is there, that is my right boundary. Finally, you have to write this last value. Then this value, this function is going to capture that value into your parameter name, what you have defined, and you can refer this wherever you need in your script. Let me show, let me take one example. We will do it. So I will take the one script quickly. Just again, today also, we are not pointing on the flow of the script. We are discussing on the load runner capabilities only. So it's like correlation introduction, I can say. So I want to do the local host script only for today. So for that, I need to turn on my server, which is in the D drive. Yeah, server is up. Now I need to capture the communication. So for that, I am depending on my browser, which is I'm depending on the Chrome browser. Let me clear all the logs. So this is my WebTools application. I will tell you one small introduction. WebTools application, you cannot directly record with LoadRunner. Directly, you cannot record. But we have to make some settings. I will walk you through what settings you need to change. Then you can directly record with your LoadRunner itself. So before that, let us see the correlation introduction. Then if you familiar with the script slowly, then we can make it more deep insights of LoadRunner tool. So I want to take one sample script only, just launching, login, logout. That's all. At the login part, I am going to get the correlation value because we know this application, we have seen this application for so many times. I'm not going to walk you through this application again and again. So just I am recording the communication. We are launching this page. Now I am logging in to this with the credentials, standard credentials, Jojo and Bean. Now I am just clicking one login button and I am signing off and just stopping the recording. This script we know we have seen for so many times. Now I will compare this script with our load runner with our JMeter. So quickly we will take this into the this is my script. I will name it as 11/9 with today's date, keeping it on my desktop. So this script I want to open with JMeter. So for opening JMeter, I need JMX file. I am getting the JMX file quickly for this 11.9 hair file. Meanwhile, I will open the JMeter instance. Yeah. Yeah, our file is ready. I just downloaded our JMX file and JMeter is at to open. Yeah, JMeter instance is up and running. So quickly let open the basic script of LoadRunner web tools. So this script we have seen so many times. Just I'm giving you walkthrough for one more time. So here I am making the login call. So obviously here one user session value is passing. This value we are doing correlation by using our LoadRunner tool. If it is JMeter, then we will simply take the one listener here. So this listener, what I am going to do, I am taking one run actually. So at this run, I will identify where this is being generated. Here this is passing in the request, but it should be there in the response of this one. So I will go to the response of this particular call, and here I will copy paste this line, whatever the response I am going to see. This response, just I'm recollecting your geometry correlation sessions. So in the response we are going to get, so this is the home call which is producing this value. So for this call, I am going to add one boundary extractor or any post processor element. So this is my value. I need to capture this value. So whatever presenting to right of this is my right boundary. I will copy paste here, and whatever presenting to this is my left boundary. I am copy pasting this value as well. And you need to take one variable name which I am taking as of our choice, but C underscore is mandatory. I am taking, and match number I am giving 1 for time being, and default value I am not even defining. So now what it is going to do, this extractor will catch. So this will catch and this will assign to this variable. Now wherever you are seeing this value, like here in the login request I am seeing, I am simply replacing with the dollar and curly braces. This is the same process, correlation process that we are following in the JMeter. The same we will apply, the same we will repeat in the LoadRunner as well. Yeah, now if you can see in the login request, yes, new value is being passed. So this is generated, that is being passed. In the same way, we will apply the same one in our LoadRunner. So I would like to open the script. So I no need to convert the hair file because LoadRunner can directly understand the hair file. It can directly record from the hair file. So I'm not taking any additional things. So first you need to select the protocol. This is web protocol I am keeping, and the script number is 2 here. This is automatic numbering will come, and we are just taking the solution. Yeah, now here you need to go to this recording button. Then you can do the recording from the capture traffic file analysis, which is my network file I'm depending for today also. And here I'm attaching the script, which is 11.9.hair file. This I am taking, and I am clicking on start recording. So this will bring the script and it will produce the recording report also. Just observe the screen. This brought the screen, this brought the report. Yeah, here you can see the report also. What report you are going to see. We will have just one overview today. So this is telling you what domains have been included in your script. In real-time application, whenever you are recording, you will see lot of domains here, like approximately 7 to 8 domains per based on the application. You will see that many number of domains. You can directly select or you can directly deselect which domains you don't want. If you untick, if you generate the script, here there is an option regenerate is there. If you regenerate, the script will automatically disable what domains you are not expecting, and automatically that will generate the script. That means it will delete all the unwanted calls by the tool itself. If it is low, if it is JMeter, we don't have such provision. You have to manually verify whether all calls belongs to your domain or not. Here you have to check here every call is hitting my local host or not, because my application is local host application. I need to check like this. Otherwise, in the LoadRunner, the same you can do the filtering here also. There is in the JMeter also there is one more filter, but this recording report you can filter it out in the immediate here itself. and there is one recording design studio is there. With this we can do the correlations directly, but don't depend on this for time being. So let us walk through directly to the script itself. Yeah, now this is the launch login logout script. Now we will mark the transactions. This 178 lines of code is there. I will launch the transaction. The first transaction is launch itself. So this is my transaction marker. I am launching the transaction. Just copy this transaction name and where you would like to end the transaction. When the login is going to happen, here the login is going to happen. Login.give some call is there. So here login is going to happen. So we need to identify. Yeah, yeah, here this is the call login.gif login.pl. So here my first request is going to complete end. So I am making the transaction first is ending at the 64 line. Then again I have to start one more transaction which is login. Launch is done. So I am starting my login transaction. This is the login transaction. Again copy this into the clipboard and again login where this is going to end. Before this sign off.gif is your sign out call. So before that your login request is going to end. So I am taking this to this yeah, here there is the call sign off.gif. So here our login is going to end. So I am keeping the login end here. Again I'm starting the last transaction which is logout transaction. This is the logout transaction. Now we have to end this one also. This one obviously we know before return I have to write the function. So now the transaction marking is completed. Now before transaction marking only you need to check any unwanted calls are there or not. As I have already seen the same script in JMeter, I know there is no unwanted call. But here before starting the transaction names itself you need to see every request is going to localhost or not. Yes, first request is going, second request also going. That means you need to check the URL. Localhost is our application URL, whether that is presenting or not. In that way I need to check. I am going little fast now. I am checking line number 32. I am checking line number 40. I am checking line number 48, line number 57, line number 68. Like that you can directly check on the application whether that is your application call or any out of scope domain calls. You need to check like that. Yes, if you see our script is totally fine. Our script is totally good. So now I am going to take this correlation value. So here if you identify, if you correlate the same thing with your JMeter, here I have done correlation at this home call. I brought up this call. I brought up these boundaries. So from where I got this value, I have taken the execution for one time. In the results tree only, I have copied. That means if you see in the response, from here I am bringing. That means I should execute at least once, then I am able to see this. In the same way, if you want to see which value is being generated, you can search in the code generation also. So let me copy paste that one. This is the code generation log. Here you can search directly which value is. You better use the copy paste always, because some values will be case sensitive. Yeah, if you see, this is the user session value, that what is being passed in the request. But I don't want to see the request. I want to see the response, that where it is being generated. So for that, what I am going to do, I am taking the replaying button for one time. Just see here, compilation is going. This is the first pattern. After that, here the request by request execution is coming. Yeah, if you see, request by request is coming. Now you are going to see the proper response. So this is your replay log. If you see here, this is the compilation log, no errors detected. If any programmatical errors are there, you can solve here itself. After that, this one will go to the replay log. This is the code generation. That means how you have recorded the script and how you have generated this particular LoadRunner code. So that you can see here in the code generation log. This is the recording log at the time of recording, how this is through browser or through the file, capture file, that you can see here. and these are events. Like you can mark what is the timestamp and what is the response. So remember, as of now, we will go to the replay section because I have done the replay. Now we will see here I am navigating to the very beginning of the first line. You can use the control home button also, or directly you can search from the beginning itself. You can keep the mouse here. Now I am finding this value, user session value. Just I am clicking on this. This is the replay log. So here also you can use what options you would like to search. In that way you can identify, and you can see what value is being generated in this. Yeah, now let me come to the beginning of the script, beginning of the execution. This is the starting log. You need to search from here because I'm identifying what is the first occurrence of my particular dynamic value. So this is the first occurrence, and here you can see how the request is being passed in the script. So this you need to identify which value is being generated in the load runner script point of view. Yeah, we have certain steps to be followed. So what steps I will give, the step-by-step pattern in the load runner. For identifying the correlation, we have to depend on the code generation log. We have to depend on the response of the particular request. So for that, what we have to do is we have to first we have to identify what is the dynamic value in the script. For that, we have one inbuilt feature is there, like we can do the comparison. If you can see the option, the comparison option, what what you can compare means, if it is low, if it is some small script like this, you can easily identify this is my correlation, so that you can fix this. But if it is some lengthy transactions are there, if it is very new application, then how to identify means, this is the standard process. You need to take the, you need to record the application. You need to do the comparison by using this tools option. You can do the script comparison. We will take the somewhat lengthy script in next sessions. We will compare the script to script, but with this you can get what is dynamic value. That is one way. And second way is also there. You simply do the execution. Whenever you replay this, your script will not pass. That means you will that is getting what error you are going to get. That will show that error log will let you know this request is failing. Then you can identify the correlation in that pattern also. Or there is one more thing, you can depend on any external tool that majority of the majority of the people will do uh, text comparison. Like they can, because the script itself is in the total written format only. You can take the text comparison tool. Like you can put the uh, whatever code is there, like in the load runner. You need to do the script recording for 2 times. Like the first time recording I am taking and I am keeping here, and the second time also you record your script and you paste here. Now you just give the compare option here. This is I pasted the same text. That's why I'm not seeing any difference. If there is some difference, obviously it will show you where the differences are there. Then you have to assume that is your that is your correlation value. Like that you need to identify. So yeah, this is the some change I have kept intentionally at line 168. This is showing there is one difference is there. So in that way you can identify the correlation also by using this text compare or any of the additional tools. But you can depend directly on this tool compare itself. That is inbuilt comparison tool that LoadRunner is providing. So with this we can identify what dynamic value is there. So what is our dynamic value, where exactly we are seeing the dynamic value, that we can see. And that we need to fix that one, that we can identify. We have to go to the, we have to identify where exactly which values are our correlation values, like the user session value, J session value. If it is some .NET application, you will see view state value. So based on the application, you will identify whatever may be the name. That doesn't matter for us. We need to pass, we need to handle that value. We need to pass that value freshly in our script. Then it is going to work. So now we need to we need to identify where we have to write the function. So what I am going to do, first I am copying the dynamic value. Yeah, now this is my dynamic value. in the script, if you see in the login, I can see the dynamic value. Let me maximize it to some more level. Yeah, this is the dynamic value. So this dynamic value I am just copying, I'm just giving control C. So this dynamic value we need to identify in the code generation log. Whatever the code generation log is there, that first occurrence you need to identify with this. So now you can put your cursor here. Now identify this. Now if you see, this is the first occurrence of your dynamic value. Then you can identify which request is triggering this dynamic value, and what is the total occurrence of this particular dynamic value, you can see here. Yeah, now if you just click on, if you just give some double click, this value will let you know where exactly the value is being printed also. So what we have to do is we have to copy paste what our what is the total number of value that we are getting towards the left and towards the right. So that values also you need to copy. If you see in the replay log, you don't get this. Why I am unable to find in the replay log means, in the replay the same value will not be there, because this has brought up some different value, because this is dynamic value. You need to identify with the parameter. This is not going to put what value that is being printed during the execution, that is not going to print at this point of time. So we need to depend on the code generation log only. There we have to identify which request is being generated the value. Now as we know, for this small script, this is being generated at the home call, which is, if you see here, this is the same navigation.pl call. Here we are getting the same call we are taking here also, and for this particular call we are writing the request. This is being, whenever we are hitting this call, I am getting the dynamic value in return. So here you need to write the function, because this is my dynamic value generation call. So for one time it will be difficult for you. Just whenever you are learning geometry first, if you switch to LoadRunner, it will be little kind of coding feel you are getting, but this is very easy. We are using some small functions only. So see here how we are writing. So we need to mention this function, which is web rec save param. Whenever you write the correct function, LoadRunner will automatically show in the orange color. That means it has identified what you are giving, and this is the correct function, webreq save param ex. If you have any issues how to write the function, you can even take the help. In the help section also we can see what is the function purpose, what is the parameter names that we can take. In this reference section, function reference is there. If you just click on this, this will directly take you to the function reference page. Let me write firstly what is the function, then we will check whether in the function reference how to get the syntax also. So here you need to mention some mandatory arguments. First argument name is param name, which is parameter. This is parameter name, and after that you need to mention the left boundary and the right boundary. You can take the small letters or you can take the capital letters. Better to go with caps. And you need to mention the right boundary also. And finally there is one argument. This is a mandatory last. So this is the correlation function you need to write. So for that, I am taking the parameter name directly, because we have already mentioned here. And this is just like what you are seeing in the JMeter visually, you are writing it in the written format. That is the only difference. So I am taking the same variable name, C underscore user session here. This is my correlation variable, and the left boundary and right boundary I am copying from this value. This is my left boundary. This is my right boundary. You will get some errors if you just use this left boundary, right boundary. We are going to see some errors. Let me show what are the errors also. We will see. So this is the LoadRunner correlation function. What this function is going to do is, after, whenever LoadRunner is identifying this function, LoadRunner will execute the request and do the searching in the response of the request with this left boundary and right boundary. So whenever you are writing this request with this function before any request, that request is going to hit the server, and that request is, we are LoadRunner itself is searching in the response of the particular request. That means you are instructing LoadRunner to find something, and after finding assign to this value that we are identifying. So let me take the execution for one time. We will see whether this is capturing or not. I am going to see. It will throw some compilation errors. Yeah, not some, lot of errors. If you see 11 errors we are getting, we have written the correct function only, but we are getting 11 errors because some small issue is there. I will show what is that issue, but before that let me show you the function reference also. So I am going to the function reference. Just we are checking whether our function is properly or not. Yeah, here you can directly search whatever the function you would like to identify. So I am searching webrex save param ex function. I am searching. You need to input, and this will brought up how to write function in LoadRunner in C language, how to write in the Java language also. Here I made some typing mistake, that's why this is not getting, instead of underscore I mentioned hyphen. So this is also matter in the LoadRunner. Now you will get the results for this function. Yeah, so here this is the webrex save param ex function, how we are doing correlation in the C language, and similarly how we are doing in the Java language also. This one will bring. I will go with the C language. So this is the reference. Here you need to mention the parameter name. Like in this way you can search any function. In this way you can identify. You need to mention the parameter name. You need to mention the left boundary. You need to mention the right boundary. This is the actual syntax. If you see, this is the webrex save param ex param name followed by left boundary followed by right boundary, and there is one argument which is last. This is the actual function. Now why we are getting errors means because of the some confusion that created to the load runner. We have created some confusion to the load runner. Why me? What is the reason means? If you see the syntax, I have written here the function left boundary I kept inside this quotes. That means whatever you are writing, load runner will understand with this quotes only. Before that, whenever you are initiating this quote, you are mentioning lb equal to, load runner will find this value, and whatever presented in between, that will assume that that is the left boundary. So now if you see your boundary, if you see here what we are doing, I am taking, I am writing the proper syntax by mentioning this symbol and left boundary, and is equal to, after that here I am giving the closing symbol. That's why load runner is assuming this is my left boundary. But again what you are writing, you are writing some more. Instead of mentioning the comma, instead of mentioning the right boundary, you are making, you are giving some wrong instructions. You are confusing load runner for identifying the boundary. So here you cannot simply ignore, you cannot simply delete this because that is your boundary. You cannot simply delete this also because that is your boundary. So whenever you are seeing this type of symbols in the boundaries, you need to give the excuse for them by mentioning the slash. This one small, even though this looks small, but this is very important. You need to give the instruction you are giving. Now what you are giving is, you are giving this as complete boundary. In between, wherever you are seeing this symbol, don't assume my boundary is closing. So here what I am doing, I am giving one slash symbol so that it will skip this value and it will still search for this boundary. Again this slash, we are getting this value. The same applicable here also. I am giving one slash here. Now I will check the error for one more time. If you see this error, 11 errors are there, warnings 2 are there. So all are because of our boundary wrong indication only. So if you double click on this, it will blink where exactly the error is happening. Now let me focus only on error. This is the error I am going to get. So here all these errors we are seeing. Now let me rerun this. Now if you see, compilation happened without any error. Only thing is that we have to be cautious whenever we are giving our boundary values, left boundary and right boundary. Whatever you are seeing, you can give copy paste, but we should not confuse the load runner also. Thing is that load runner will search in this pattern. If you understand how this is working, this will identify for this symbol as the closing of your boundary. So this is my boundary. In between, in your boundary, if you are getting this type of symbols, that you have to excuse with this type of slash symbols, then your script is going to work. Now our correlation, like we have extracted the value, but I am yet to replace the value in the script. So for replacing, what we have done, go back to your JMeter. So here at the login request, I have replaced the value by giving this syntax, dollar and curly braces. So this syntax I have given, but in the load runner, only curly braces. You don't need to give dollar, because the load runner was first guy. They have used the curly braces, and JMeter, they should not copy paste the same. That's why they have used the this. You can do this, you can do the replace also, like this also you can find and replace, but I'm replacing for the time being manually. This dynamic value I'm deleting, and you can do the, you can use the curly braces, and you can give whatever whatever the syntax that you have defined, that you can give in the copy paste, that you can this value. Now your script will pick up every time the proper user session value. Let me take rerun of the script for one more time. We will see whether the value is being captured or not properly. Yeah, script point of view, we don't have any issues. Now let us see the replay summary and code generation logs also. So if we see what value is being generated in the line by line, if we can identify, this is the first transaction is started at the launch is started, and the transaction wise response also you can see here in the load runner. Launch ended with the path status, so that is the message that is giving. Again the login start, similarly the same apply for the login also and logout also. So here we can see the proper replay summary. Now let me go to the this code generation log. Here you can identify the majority of the code. So that means how this is being executed in the response, that we can see in the response. Now if you can search with user session, so this is the user session value, that what it is being generated. That means something ending with VHF. This is the first value. Now let me go with some more occurrences. The same VHF value is being taken. Now I want to do this, I want to repeat this for 4 or 5 times. So for that I can go to the runtime, because I want to check whether the same is captured or not. So I would like to make the iterations, 5 iterations I would like to make. Now these spacings I'm not adding, these think times I'm not adding. If you see, if you remember the timers concept, then we have only one timer only in JMeter, but we have a lot of options in the load runner we can do. But as of now, I'm going only with the 5 iterations only. I'm not adding any think times. Let it run only 5 times, not an issue. So I'm taking the execution for 5 times. Now, if you see, the compilation is going to happen. Let it run. Yeah, the execution happened 5 times. Execution happened in approximately 6 seconds of time. So let us go to the code generation log. In the code generation log, how the log is printing, we will see. Now this is the, you need to always, you need to come from the beginning, and you need to search for the first occurrence. So this is my keyword user session value. Yeah, now let me check. This is the value, this is the first value, dynamic value 1. And I am going to take the next occurrence. So for next occurrence, you can directly click here also. My first, this is the first occurrence I have copied, which is ending with HF. Again, the second occurrence we are going to search. Again, this is taking, because we haven't given any proper waiting time. Even we can see the same set of dynamic value also, but let me copy paste. Yeah, it is not same. If you see the size is being no, it is same only. I haven't copied properly. This is same dynamic value. Let me copy another value. VHF. It will usually will take, because you have given only in the small amount of time. So if you give proper think times, it will generate all the dynamic values. Now we will give intentionally some think time also for this script, because we are identifying what dynamic value that is being picked up every time. Yeah, but for this all, or if you apply the same thing in the load runner, sorry, in the JMeter, we will see, we will execute the same script for 3 or 4 times. I want to loop the same script for 5 times here. What I have done in the load runner, the same operation, I am copy pasting. Yeah, now in the login request, we can check even every time the login request that is being printed HHF for this time. And yeah, this is completed login.pl. Yeah, this is taking every time different value. Earlier it was HHF and now it was IIF. Like we can do the we can do comparison search by search. Like here, this is again taking same value IHF because of the timing issue. But that is the actual way of doing correlation. We need to identify the boundaries what we are taking, and again what is the request where we have to keep the function. That is important. So yeah, mainly the places where we are going to miss in the correlation is, yeah, the place where we are writing the request actually. So for that we do have different approaches where we can put the request. That one will let us know. If we are writing, if we are keeping the function intentionally, we will do some change to this. Instead of keeping the function here, let us cut this and paste after this request. Let us see what will happen. So whether it can, because I know this request is going to generate me dynamic value, I am writing after this request. Actually we have to write before the request. Intentionally we are checking whether our correlation value is fixing or not. Script will pass. Otherwise, let us see, I will execute the script for one time. Because this one, yeah, this directly this is telling script is failing because you are not giving the proper request. You can see the error also here directly. What is the error? Obviously it will fail. If you see one error we are getting, so that error is because of our correlation only, because our correlation value we are not getting the properly at this particular user session value. That is not going to show, that value is not going to pick up. Then we are not getting this value. So if you see, this is the c underscore user session parameter, no match was found. That means your correlation was unable to pick up that particular match. In this way you can see the errors here. That's why always we have to place the function properly, that where we have to place the function and how we have to identify dynamic values. That we can see, we can take some bigger script and then we can practice this one. So this is just introduction for the correlation. So I am copy pasting this particular transaction. Now let us take this for one more time. Now you can see the particular response, and even you can identify which value is being captured. That also you can see in this runtime data. So if you click on this runtime data, this will pick up. Yeah, if you can see, this is the runtime correlation value. Your user session is chf something. Now if you see the same thing for, let us repeat the same for 3 times. Now let me take the execution for quickly. It is compiling and this is showing us all the values. Yeah, now if you can see, this is the ATV. That means the value is being changed, because you are taking only the particular only one user only, because you can't even increase the more number of users. In the JMeter you have the provision, you can directly increase many number of users, but you can't do it in the VuGen, because I shown in the demo itself, VuGen is not for multiple users. VuGen is only for one user only. You cannot make more number of user testing in this virtual user generation. You can make only single user iteration only here, that you can iterate as many number of times as you want. Yeah, that is the correlation basics. We have some more optional arguments also there in the correlation. I will give you the introduction for that, but we will see the options in the tomorrow session. So what are the optional arguments means, let me write the correlation function for one more time. These are mandatory arguments what I am writing. Web break save param ex, these are mandatory arguments. The first one is param name equal to uh, this is the mandatory argument. Again, after that, the left boundary, you need to mention mandatory. That is also mandatory argument. After that, again, you need to mention the right boundary. That is also a mandatory argument, which is your right boundary. Yes, you know, till this time, you know, these three are mandatory arguments. After that, last is that this is the finishing statement. But we can take some more optional arguments. Like the first optional argument is ordinal equal to. So what is this ordinal means? Whatever may be the number of uh, occurrences we can take. So ordinal equal to, if you are giving ordinal equal to 1, the first occurrence is going to be picked up, that is going to assign here. If you mention ordinal equal to 2, the second occurrence is going to pick up. If you are going to mention all occurrences, this will bring up all occurrences within this boundary range LB and RB. Based on that, it will get all the occurrences and it will put here this parameter name automatically becomes an array, and that can extend. The same way you can see here in the JMeter, you can see in the match number. So in the match number, what I am doing, every time I am taking 1. If you can take -1, whatever may be the all occurrences, they are being assigned to this value. In the same way, you can see the match number is ordinal here in the load runner. So this ordinal is an optional argument, and you can mention what occurrence you want to use in the script. That is one argument. And another argument is save len. Save len. What is the save len purpose means? For example, your dynamic value is like this, something 1 2 3 4 dot like this, some odd dynamic value you are seeing. I want to save the first 3 characters, I want to save the first 4 characters. Then I don't want to capture entire dynamic value, I don't want entire dynamic value, I want only first few letters. For example, if I mention 2, then I am going to get my dynamic value is only 12 is captured. Even though this is capturing entire dynamic value, your correlation function is capturing entire dynamic value, but the save length function will save the particular length based on your instruction. Where I am going to get the this type of useful values means whenever there is some account balance. Account balance is there. So account balance usually you cannot withdraw till the paisa. So the decimal value is whatever the value after this dot, that is not we are not taking into the consideration. So I want to take only first few characters. There you can use this save len function and you can capture the particular dynamic value. And there is one more optional argument, which is save offset. So save offset means it will skip that many number of characters. If you mention save offset equal to 3, the first 3 characters are going to skip, and your dynamic value will be this value. After 4, from here, whatever the value I have highlighted, this value is going to print as your dynamic value. So these 3 are optional arguments where we can use in our script according to the requirement. So let me write all those optional arguments also here. The first optional argument is ordinal. This is completely based on your choice you can use. So you can mention ordinal equal to, and there is one more argument which is save len. This is also optional argument, and there is one more argument which is save offset. This is also optional argument. So all these arguments, the purpose is you can capture your correlation value and you can extract some part of your correlation value by using this save len save offset. So there is one challenge I am asking. If suppose I want to capture only 3 4, then how we can do? If you use savelen, that is not possible. So savelen I cannot use because only savelen cannot help here, because this is my dynamic value 1234.40 something, that some dynamic value is there. In this dynamic value, for otherwise I would like to capture only qw here, the first two characters qw I want to capture. So I need to capture the entire dynamic value first by writing correlation function. Then I have to use two more arguments, which is save and I have to use first, because I want to I want to capture qw means I need to capture initially from here to here. So from here to here, if I want to save means I don't want the entire length. I want only up to this QW. Then what I have to mention, I have to count the characters. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, this dot is also one character. 5, 6, 7. So my save length equal to 7. Now I don't want to save these first 5 values. Then I want to save only the last 2 values. I want to skip the first 5 values. Skipping means you can use save offset equal to 5. So then whatever, if you use the save len, you are going to get this as your output. Whatever 1, 2, 3, 4 dot, this is your output. So in this value again you are using save offset. That means you are skipping the first 5 characters. That means 1, 2, 3, 4 dot is going to skip for you, and you are going to get the QW as your output. So in this way we can play with our correlation function, which are advanced. We can say the more number of options are available in the LoadRunner compared to the JMeter, we can see more about correlation here because of these optional arguments. Again, remember, these are optional arguments. You can use or you can ignore these options. But the first 3 are mandatory. Whatever parameter name, left boundary, right boundary, these 3 are mandatory, and whatever the ordinal save and save offset are optional according to your requirement. If you see the function reference, there you can see if you see this function reference, now the first argument is parameter name, what you want to bring, and second argument is left boundary, and third argument is right boundary. These 3 are mandatory. Then here list of attributes are there. So what attributes you want to add here, that you can add. These are the attributes we can take here. So yes, this is the not phone. Yeah, this is the one I just shown, which is the ordinal value that indicates the position or instance of the match in addition to the passing number. That means whatever may be the occurrence. By default, save len value, by default ordinal value is 1 only. Like how we are mentioning in the JMeter, always 1 I am taking. The same value is default here also. The first occurrence you are going to see, that is your default value. If you don't mention, LoadRunner will think it as 1. And again save len. So by default save len is -1 because it will capture all the variables, all the total number of options. That is your save len. So which is the default value, and save offset is by default 0 because defaultly this is not going to skip anything. If you see the offset defaultly there is no value. The default value is 0. That means it is not going to skip any value. It is going to present everything in the response. So these are the optional arguments: ordinal, save len, save offset. This will form our correlation function in the LoadRunner, and there are some more attributes also there. This device, which is a comma separated list of data format. That means it's like a CSV format that whenever we are using some search operation to be performed, then we can use this. And this is the not found. We can write what you want to pass in the case of you are unable to find where you want to do. This is like error handling mechanism, we can say continue on error if what you are getting, so that you can see. So here they have written some small function they have written. Now this is the correlation that we can see here. Yeah, we have some LoadRunner functions are there to discuss, and we have web functions are there, we have C functions are there. After discussing all those functions, what is the purpose, then I can start the scripting activity, because LoadRunner scripting is very interesting and bit different compared to the JMeter. In the JMeter, you will see script also in the request and response pattern. This looks very easy interface in the JMeter. Everything you can see in the beautiful approach, like how we are having Unix operating system. That type of feel you are getting in the JMeter. But in the LoadRunner, it will be little messy, like a kind of code. It's a kind of like you need to understand what is the request, what is the response, where you have to generate. It will take little time to habituate the LoadRunner tool. So I will take the slow introduction initially for at least 3-4 classes. Later we can speed up. Yeah. In the next session, we will see the functions. What are the functions are there and what is the purpose? In detail, I will discuss. Later we can start our scripting activity.